Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Morgan Ravenberg here again. Um, the topic that I'm going to be discussing in this video is also linked. The article of that topic is linked in the description below as usual, and it's going to be on certain people being immune to magical influences or occult influences. Okay, and yeah, let's just start right away. This is unfortunately the case. Okay, the same way that some people are physically stronger than others and have a higher tolerance or resistance to diseases or to any kind of physical affliction that weakens the body. Some people are more susceptible to diseases; they're weak and frail physically, and others are the adverse. Okay, the exact opposite. Others are strong and resilient towards diseases. The same accounts for the astral bit or the mental bit, but just for clarification purposes, specifically the astral bit. Okay, if you take the spiritual composition of man into account, then it's the astral part. Okay, and not the mental part. But I'm just using the phrases mentally and astrally loosely. But I just wanted to clarify that it is indeed astrally. Okay, so it's simply the case that some people mentally or astrally are also that is also the case for some people mentally and astrally. Some people are simply spiritually speaking overall more susceptible to influences or more receptive to influences, like myself. In this case, that wouldn't be a weakness, okay, but it all depends on how you look at it. Yeah, I'm an exceptional case, but I'm talking about generally speaking. You have people that are simply weak or highly susceptible to spiritual influences and psychic forces, and others that are the exact opposite. These people are hard to influence or target spiritually. And as a magician, that is really bad news. Not to mention that it's bad for business. Up to this date, I've had it happen to me 2 times. One is for a customer, and the other one was for myself. I discussed this in the video with on the Archangel Anael. Long story short, I invoked Anael because I had a crush on a girl, and I simply wanted to take things a step further with her, and it didn't work out. And the reason for that was that she had a strong mental barrier. Let's just say she had a strong mind, to put it that way, that is not impenetrable, but that is difficult to penetrate or difficult to influence. And for a customer of mine, it's also a similar situation, but I'm not going to go too much into that. I respect our confidentiality agreement, despite the fact that that was never stated. But I simply respect his desire for privacy, if he desires that. I'm simply not going to discuss that. It seems out of tone to discuss something like that. In any case, that is the deal with regarding this topic. Unfortunately, you have people that are mentally that have some kind of natural barrier. More often than not, these people aren't even aware that they have that character trait. These people are simply hard to influence, and they are hard to be influenced or to be affected by psychic forces or otherworldly forces, spiritual forces. Again, I'm using the phrases that it's difficult. It's not impossible, but I just say that it's super difficult to actually touch these people. So for me as a magician, if I have someone, for example, that asks me, a customer, to target another person for whatever reason, whether it's destructive or constructive or otherwise, then or somewhere in between, then if that person has something like that, then that is going to be a problem. If that person, if someone like that has such a natural barrier, okay, whether it be unusual mental strength or something like that, which makes it hard to target them, and regarding workings, magical workings, then yeah, that poses an obvious problem. But yeah, again, listen, the benefit is obvious, okay, for these people. The drawback is that these people, most of them, will not be able to grow beyond their current level These people are more default kind of people. Again, the benefit of these people is that they're stable, either mentally or emotionally or otherwise. The drawback is that these people will never progress, they'll never advance, they'll never grow spiritually, or they'll never go anywhere past what they are. They're more set in their position. And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, as you can see, everything has its benefits and drawbacks. The drawback for me is susceptibility to spiritual forces, but the benefit is that I can grow and thereby achieve so much like I've already have. Okay, so again, you can't have the good without the bad. That is evident here. That's evident here. And yeah, what else can I say? That is unfortunately the case, and generally speaking, there is little to nothing you can do about it. From a business perspective, again, like I said, if I had someone either for personal reasons or it's a customer that asks me to focus on a target that is difficult overall, then generally speaking, I don't know, it all depends on the situation. But the drawback is simply that you have to throw everything you have at that person, and it would take the sheer amount of time, energy, and resources that you'd have to spend on that person is all dependent on the recipient. It's all dependent on you as an instigator, you as the querent basically in this situation, you as the initiator of said action. If it's a customer, then that customer of mine will have to decide whether he wants to spend all of those resources on that, whether his target is worth it or whether his inquiry is worth it. Okay. But for me as a person, if I had a personal goal that I would like to accomplish, then it would be the same thing. For me, it's all about, is it worth it? Is such a goal worth getting after? Is such a goal worth running behind? Is it worth spending all that time, energy, and resources? You need to decide for yourself whether that person or a situation is worth it. But unfortunately, this exists. It is rare, okay? I don't often come across people that are like that, or I haven't heard often of people that are like that, but unfortunately they are, okay? There are people like that, and up till now in my practice I have had to deal with two of these. The story that I referred to in the beginning with the Archangel Anael, for me that girl wasn't worth it. Someone also commented on that video working with Anael, and that person simply discussed marriage, blah blah blah, and I simply commented with of course I'm not going to go all the way for that. Okay, it's not worth it. It's just a crush. I had a crush on a girl and I thought to myself, I have nothing to lose, but I'm definitely not going to let's just say work with Anael for a year and invest heavily in Anael just for the sake of getting that girl. No, she's not worth it for me, not even remotely. And again, as a customer, if you're a customer and you want something like that, then I'll openly tell you, you need to decide for yourself whether it's worth it, whether it's worth all the resources, because it's going to take a lot of time and money and so on. So you need to decide how much that person or how much that situation means to you. If not, then we'll simply leave it at that. A general working isn't going to suffice. It's not going to lead to full results. And again, I'm just speaking in general. I'm not referring to a customer that I was referring to earlier. That was just a slight example. But yeah, that is basically it. And there is little to nothing you can do about it. It's hard. It's like just in a figurative or metaphorical sense, it's like trying to make someone sick that has a high or has a strong immunity to diseases. That's physically strong to the point where that person rarely gets sick. So again, it can be done, but I think you'll have to throw a good deal of diseases at that person. I think you'll really have to throw one hell of a virus towards that person in order to get that person sick. So yeah, that is pretty much it on this topic. I'll hear it in the comment section as usual if there are any questions.